Hey, everybody, welcome to a brand new MMA Roasted Podcast. It's me, Adam Hunter. We got Shang. We got Ween Dog. We're waiting for Tyler. We got a stack show. We got Jay Hieron, former UFC. This guy was in the UFC. He was in Strikeforce. He was in Bellator. He was the IFL champion and other things. And so he's going to be joining us. He's also now doing great as an actor. Holy shit. Wait to hear him. We also have a press conference between –
Wow.
We have a press conference between Trap Gambino, Ashley Gambino's husband.
Oh, no.
Fighting Marquis Nelson. So we got a stack show here. I want to thank our sponsor, Speedweed. Marijuana is legal in California. Don't go to the dispensary to get it. Get it delivered right to you. They got edibles. They got weed. They got CBD. They got THC sex lube, which my wife and I use all the time. Highly recommend it.
Highly recommend it. Yeah.
I even masturbate while using it. That's how good it is. I want to get double high. So check it out. Go to speedweed.com. What's going on? So me and Shang, we've been doing these Zoom comedy shows.
Yes.
Which I got hired last week by 10th Planet Boulder. My friend Connor and Heather Jo Clark. Heather's a former UFC fighter. Connor's a former Strikeforce fighter. And they have a gym now in Denver, Colorado. And they said, hey, we want to do a comedy show for our students. So we want to hire you. And it was awesome. It was awesome. But it's still hard because you have to mute the crowd. And the reason you mute the crowd is because idiots come in. Like, it's one thing to, like, heckle in person, which is still, I think, a pussy move. But to do it on the internet is, like, the lowest form of heckling. There's, like, because at least in person, you can see the person. So these Zoom people, they come in and they start putting porn on everybody's thing, and they start saying the N-word and this and that and F the Jews. So you have to silence everybody and in the beginning. Otherwise, they come in and they ruin the whole show, which is like, I mean, we're doing a comedy to make people laugh for all quarantine. This is your hobby. You're not getting paid for this. You're just being a dick, which is crazy. So,
Right.
But the show, people are like, well, what's it like not hearing laughter? Which, I mean, as comics, sometimes you don't hear laughter. But it's different when you do Zoom shows because when you're expected to not hear laughter, it's like no pressure. When you want to hear laughter and don't hear laughter, then you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I can see the people laughing. You can see them, or they're like holding up emojis or something. It's a crazy experience, but it's still fulfilling some sort of need to make people laugh. And
Right.
And it's nice to do a comedy show where I don't have to leave my couch, literally. I could just log on, do a thing. And then also, it's also like nice because if I do them every week, it's forcing me to write new material. Because not that I wouldn't write it anyway, but knowing that the same people are going to come back next Tuesday for your Zoom show, it's forcing me to write new jokes. And also, when this is over, I want to stay sharp. I don't want to be that because comics are going to be like 2 months not doing comedy. They're going to be like, But if you keep doing it, you're still working that muscle, that
Right.
joke-telling muscle. So how do you feel about it, Shane?
No, right now, at first I didn't want to do them because I thought this is bullshit, but then I thought it'll give me good ways to riff into new material. And the thing is, when comics watch, when you make comics laugh, that there's a good chance that the audience it'll rip with the audience. Because I try to, because my pacing is so fast on stage. So, and yeah, you're nonstop too, because we've done shows and I watch you, you're like, boom, boom, joke. Yeah. So that pacing from the audience. But no, I've learned how now to just tell more stories. I got more stories now from doing the Zoom, comedy. I just did one, man. It was like $50 and people were like, why are you, like, I'm like, yeah, compared to what I'm making on the road. No, of course not. But it was $50 and I literally watched it and then I just went in the kitchen and made some soup.
Yeah, if you could do like four, that's the thing. I was actually getting some decent money for it, and it was fun. And then also, so I did one Saturday night where I just did an hour, and
I've done one of those.
And then it was Ronda Rousey's mom, Dr. Anne-Marie was there with her daughter, her other daughter, who's a soccer player, who's awesome. Like, she just showed up, and then Isaac Valley Flag was there, and I started making fun of people individually. Like, Isaac Valley Flag was a UFC fighter who then got in like a lot of trouble with drugs and meth and was caught with like trying to rob a bank or something. And now he actually is sober and doing bare knuckle boxing. So I'm like, bare knuckle boxing has saved this guy's life. Like, who would have thought it would be bare knuckle? So I made fun of him. And then Cody Bollinger is here. He's the guy that, like, he was in the UFC, made it to the Ultimate Fighter, missed weight. I'm like, well, at least you made weight for the Zoom show. And I was just like ripping at Heather Joe Clark. I'm like, I'm not surprised that you were in the UFC because you're the ultimate fucking complainer. And I was, I was having fun. It was cool. But yesterday was a rough day because I have this dog, my dog Miles. He's got a missing ear. He was using his bait for pit bull fighting. He's like, just had a rough go, and he's bitten everybody I know. Everybody's got, So yesterday, and now he's blind. And he's deaf, and he's up there. He's like probably 14, 15 years old. I mean, he like needs a seeing eye dog. My dog, like my dog needs. Like I gave him pet CBD oil, and now he's trying to convince me the Earth is flat, and that 5Gs are controlling everything. So yesterday, I'm changing my baby's diaper, and I just hear him crying. My 2 cats attacked him, like they put a hit on him, like. Because he's always walking into them and jumping on the couch while they're there. He can't see. And they they tore his eye. Like his eye was bleeding. So
wow, cats are no joke.
Dude, they both double teamed him. It was 2-on-1. And they tried to kill him. So I had to go to the vet yesterday.
Man.
Now I'm in the vet during a quarantine. And the guy, so I'm like with a mask. He's wearing a mask. It was rough. So I had to wipe his eye. It was a rough day yesterday.
Well, don't you think, this sounds really cold-blooded, but at that age, when dogs get old, don't they put them down?
I mean, that's an option. And my wife is like, seems to want that out because it's hard because he's bit our baby and we have to constantly be watching him. And because she doesn't know, she goes up to him and grabs his tail or tries to give him hugs and he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. But I can't put him down until.
No, that's what. Yeah, I had a dog named Skippy, and he started getting older and barely walk. He's wobbling and shit. And after a while, my pops was like, my pops was really cold blooded. He's like, you know what? Fuck this dog. I got enough stuff to take care of. If you can't take care of him, I'm taking him to the thing. And he took him there, and that was it. So I think that's more humane because when they get old, they really don't have any sense of anything.
No, I know. But then, like, he'll be happy. Like if I take like a meatball or chicken out, all of a sudden his eyes come back and he's running around. So it's hard. It's
hard. Once they stop eating, that's when it's like I have this old ass pug right here, dude. Look at this old ass piece of shit pug. And I talked to the vet and I said, when should I know when to put her down? And she basically said, when they stop eating and when she can't walk, that's pretty much
Yeah.
But
when they can't walk that's really bad.
Yeah.
And my wife's grandparents are like born again Christians, right? Super, like she's half Mexican. They're Trump supporters. They like every day watch. They love.
They're Trump supporters in this climate.
Mexican Trump supporters, which is like being like R. Kelly for Amber Alerts, right?
Yeah.
And so they put in my comedy show. They were bored. Like, let's watch Adam's comedy. They made it 3 minutes. And now they're mad. I'm like, aren't you guys supposed to be forgiving? Like they said, because I was like, look, all these wife jokes. They couldn't believe it. So they were like mad at me. It was the whole thing.
I've seen people heckle you, but you don't get it that bad. I've had people walk towards the stage. I've hit people in the face with a mic. I've done in Philly. I've smashed somebody's teeth out with a mic.
Really?
Yeah, fuck them. Yeah. Because he tried to grab my foot and pull my foot. So I took the mic. You know how it has a big metal bottom? I just swung it like this, caught him right here. And I didn't have I lost the lawsuit, but still, yeah, because the club sued me. And this is going to be the most hilarious thing. The club was called Stitches. I bullshit you not. That is the real name of the club. It ended up getting bought by the Comedy Factory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at a show in New York at the New York Comedy Club. Remember they had that small room?
Yeah.
Closet. They turned into a club. And then like the actual room. I used to plunge the toilets for stage time. And
oh my God.
And like put away chairs at like 2 a.m. And I was on the only show they put me on was Ozzy's Puerto Rican show. Started at midnight on Friday. And I would get the check spot, the worst spot. And I was the only one who was white. They hated me to begin with. So about to go on. There was a comic named Angel something. He had like tattoos all over his neck, and like he did some time, whatever. He was pretty funny, but he was on stage, and then this other comic, like, or maybe he was drunk and he wouldn't get off. The other guy kept lighting him. The comic kept lighting him. It was like a tag team thing where you bring up the next comic. The guy approached the stage to grab the mic out of his hand, and the comic let go. He hit himself with the microphone. So he thought he got punched. So he just cracks the comic. All the crowd runs out. Like, the comics are fighting each other, right? Nobody pays the bill. Fucking lights come on. Cops get called. I'm supposed to go next, right? I'm like, I'm not going on. And then some comic bumps me and still goes on. So some comic's still doing material that everyone's like running out and the cops are there. This is
I think that's great though.
Yeah.
I've seen shows because I fluctuate from doing mainstream shows to urban shows, and everybody thinks the urban shows are the worst. No, it's been the mainstream shows. Laugh Factory, where Dane Cook said the word Mexican, and then a whole bunch of Mexicans wanted to beat him up.
Yeah.
And then when I was on the road with David Tell and ended up being their bodyguard with David Tell and Louis C.K., and they were so mad at them about jokes because David Tell was just going on people. We're in London. Oh, yeah, your women are ugly. Oh, yeah, you drive on the wrong side of the road. What the fuck is up with your teeth, people in London? And they didn't see that as funny. They saw that as I thought it was hilarious. And so I'd have to I've gotten fights with people because I needed the money to finish the tour because they wanted to beat them up. They never came at me.
Wait, it was you, Louis C.K., and David Tell?
David Tell.
That's
London.
an amazing tour.
I went up first, and then I would literally, they would do so bad sometimes because he was a little tipsy. Just a little bit. But he's funny. And then we come off stage, and these people in these pubs were like, bollocks, we're going to bite your face in, and then we're going to grab you and drag you down the street. And I'm like, dude, don't hit him. I need him for the rest of the tour. I became friends with him because of that, but I was like, and it was weird. I got into a shoving match, and then the one dude, I actually grabbed his wrist and turned it, and then he went down, and then they thought I punched him. I was like, no, I was only trying to make sure that he didn't hit Dave.
Of course.
So so it wasn't even that, but I'm so glad I work nice clubs now. I'm so glad things are going, like up to this point, things were going really well.
Yeah, I saw, dude, I hated your Instagram stories, by the way, because you make these videos where you're like, a life of a comic. And it sees you checking into like fucking, I don't know, some kind of palace. Like, and then you don't show any of your set. Everyone's getting standing ovations. You're like, off to the next place. I'm like, what is this bullshit?
You know why? Because I wanted them to come see the live show. I had like a bunch of comedy clubs in a row, and I was like, I wanted them to come to the next show. That's why I wasn't showing them my set.
I know, but all you're showing is you checking into like a 5-star hotel, people loving you, and then I'm like, what the fuck? Why did I just watch this? I feel shitty about my own life. I gotta watch this. Like, this. Stop
it, Mr. Tonight Show. Shut the fuck up. He's been on the Tonight Show. He's been on. I haven't done the Tonight. I've done the Late Show. He's done all of the shows. Shut up.
Green Dog, how are you, by the way?
I'm good, man. I'm very eager to wrap this quarantine up. I'm starting to get that itch to be productive. It's been like 2 months now, and I haven't really done anything except play video games and, eat.
But you're healthy though.
No, I'm not healthy. I've been drinking beer and alcohol, liquor at a ferocious pace. I become a severe alcoholic. I'm not even kidding. I need help. I need someone to send me to a psychiatrist or to a institution that will help me get sober.
No, you don't. Come on. Is this a joke?
I think he's serious. I think he has been drinking every day.
I cut all beer out. I used to drink at the start of the quarantine. You see me on the podcast drinking Heineken in the morning at 10 a.m. or whatever we do this at.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Beer out. You're drinking in the morning? You start in the morning?
Yeah. There's no point to wait at night. I don't got no obligations during the day, so why not just start when I'm, most susceptible to the alcohol? I take one sip of the beer, I already feel it. I'm already loosey-goosey.
Aren't you getting in school right now?
I am in school.
So how
I should probably pay more attention to my schoolwork, to be honest with you. But I've cut all beer out because I gained 10 pounds in the week, and you can see in my face I'm a lot rounder. from the alcohol. So now I'm only doing whiskey, the straight whiskey and straight vodka.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah, because, you know, look at the keto diet. If you look at the keto diet, it's okay to drink whiskey and, you know, the hard liquor just by himself.
No,
I'm serious. That's the keto. If it's healthy on keto, it should be healthy, you know, either way.
The keto diet is drink straight whiskey. I'm not really sure that's the diet.
Well, that's not the diet, but it's allowed because there's no carbohydrates in just straight whiskey or vodka or whatever.
And how's it going with your girlfriend? Have you seen her yet?
I see her. Her parents still won't let me inside. I have to just go out, hang outside of her window at night, and, you know, it sucks, dude. But hopefully within the next few weeks, they'll let me venture off into their house again.
That is creepy in a little way. I hang outside her window and I jack my penis while I watch her.
Do you masturbate outside her window or no?
I would. I just don't want to get caught because I love my girlfriend and I love her family. If this was just some random girl on Tinder, hell yeah, I'd be wanking it outside her window, her sister's window, or parents' window. I don't give a shit, dude.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it in front of everybody. Who gives a shit?
True love.
Now, Shang, have you gotten laid since the quarantine?
No.
What about the girl behind you with the beautiful butt?
Wow, that's actually it's Anne Marie.
Oh, what's up, Anne Marie? Sorry. Oh, that's her boyfriend. I didn't.
That's her boyfriend.
I know him. Oh, what's up, man? Sorry, Anne Marie.
That's her boyfriend.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I have a roster that I built up though. When the quarantine's over, I'm gonna have a starting team.
So like are you going on like Zoom dates or?
No, I've just been on some of the dating apps, and I've set up quite a team of starters. I got some starters. But right now when I get done, I had so many bookings set up. I'm trying to think, do the gigs start once we get out of here? Once everybody's okay, though.
Have you been doing bookings since like during the quarantine or no?
I had two that said, look, we're going to come back in September. And then the one I had in DC at the Comedy Loft, he said, we're going to move you further down. And if it doesn't come back, we'll move it again. And then I
feel stupid reaching out to clubs right now. I'm like, hey, by the way, because they're not, I feel like I don't even want to bother them right now. Like,
yeah, not now. Yeah. But I mean, no, he hit me up on email. I emailed him back, said, okay, September. And then I had improv. I had 2 improv dates and then a funny bone. So
I'm calling Jay Hieron. Man, these guys. First of all, I don't know where the hell Tyler is.
We haven't. Yeah, I thought they were gonna jump on.
It's so unorganized. I mean, these guys. It's like it's fucking Zoom. It's your home. People can't go on like a Zoom comedy show. I'm calling Jay. I'm trying to get him on right now. So Ween Dog,
once he jumps in.
Ween Dog, take this part out.
Okay.
All right. Tomorrow, by the way, we have Al Iaquinta, Vince Pichel. And then Thursday we have Cynthia Cavillo. So we got a good squad. And then we got this guy who's from England who's a bare knuckle boxer / turned porn star. So he's coming on.
Okay, that's actually a great one. That's a great one.
All right, so let's talk about some MMA news before Jay comes on. All right,
is Jay coming on first?
I don't know when Jay's coming on. I give up on people. The only person I can rely on is myself.
Right.
Let's talk. So Ali Abdulaziz, who's the manager. So he's the manager of all these guys. People don't even like him. Yeah, he says that he sees Khabib fighting GSP before he fights Conor McGregor.
I don't
think GSP's coming back.
Yeah.
GSP proved his point, which was a great point to prove, especially against Bisping. But I'm telling you right now, I don't think he's already done everything. GSP's done. I mean, he doesn't have any. Who was he gonna prove it to now?
He also doesn't like fighting. Like, I love GSP, but it seems like if there's ever a guy, an athlete who has OCD, it's GSP, because he can't sleep at night. Seems like he has a lot of tics. Everything has to be right. And he's so good at what he does. He's amazing. But there's a guy who seems like I wouldn't say he doesn't enjoy it. Probably enjoys practicing, enjoys coaching, but the actual competing, it never seems like he's actually happy in there.
No, I've seen I've seen when he won the belt back, he seemed like he didn't seem happy up to that run. But when he won the belt back, he did. He definitely did.
But he said he literally said, not literally, because I'm paraphrasing.
That was later though.
Well, recently he said he never enjoyed 1 second in the octagon. So I honestly think that he doesn't he doesn't like it. He loves it because he's good at it. But I mean, we know people that are so good at what they do, but they don't necessarily enjoy it. You ever so I don't think he really wants to do it. I think he loves training and he loves coaching, but the actual pressure and the fight camp and the cutting weight and everything else doesn't seem to really.
Even that part, I've seen some interviews with him. I think it's all the other stuff you have to do. Just like Nate. Nate doesn't like the other shit. He doesn't like the obligations you got to have as a UFC fighter, and you got to have them. Whereas I think someone like Conor embraces it, even though sometimes he shows up late, but he embraces the show side of it. Some people are just fighters, and they enjoy the fighting part, and other people enjoy the whole aspect of it. And I think he doesn't enjoy that. And it's funny, I got his autograph, and because I'm a huge, huge fan of his. And he was the nicest dude
ever.
Like, he just super cool. And, you know, when you get to sit there and talk to him, but no, I think he loved that side of it, man. I did. I mean, when you see how his face, even though he was busting up a little bit, when you see when he won the belt back, that motherfucker, man, he's ecstatic.
There's never been one person who said anything bad about GSP. Like, you just won't get it. None of his teammates, nobody who's met him, nobody who's fought him. I mean, he is the typical, like, if I wanted to emulate my life over one athlete, it'd be GSP, because, I mean, what a great guy. Also, Anthony Smith, May 3rd. The UFC is doing 3 fights in 1 week. They're like, fuck it. That's all going to be in Florida, starting May 9th, May 13th, and May 23rd. So it's not 1 week. It's whatever. It's 10 days or whatever that is.
10 days.
Or 14 days, 2 weeks. Anthony Smith versus Glover Teixeira. I hope Anthony Smith wins. I mean, he's a nice guy. He's a friend of mine. I remember back in the day, I used to have him on the show when he was in like Victory Fighting Championship. He wasn't even in the UFC. And he used to text me going, "Thank you for giving a shit about my fights." And and I was like, dude, that's, you know, even when yeah.
He's going to have a problem, though. Fighting.
Against Glover?
Yeah.
Really? Glover's like 87 years old. I love Glover. Come on, man. That dude.
But he still can bang, though. I mean, he's one of those old dudes that can still bang, man. I disagree. I think that's where he fools some people.
He's not going to bang like Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith is a world-class kickboxer. Glover,
I know, but he's not going to. I've seen him go. I mean, he goes through wars, man. And even when he loses, it's like, you know that you're getting fucked up.
Who, Glover or Anthony Smith?
Glover.
Yeah, I know. I just think that he's been around a long time.
Been around a long time, but there's a lot of people been around a long time and still, you know, yes. I mean, they you know, what's I can name like 4 fighters that are in their 40s that still look like they're 27 years old. Like
Yoel, number one. And
Yoel still, like, people still are afraid of him.
Yes. Yeah, I'm afraid of him.
Yeah, but that last fight, he seemed old. He threw 3 punches in 5.
Okay, no, he seems like he's like slowed down, or he wasn't exactly there. But look at the fight right before that. He won that.
No, he lost that fight.
Against Whitaker?
I said he won.
No, not against Whitaker. He lost it. No, he didn't. He actually lost a fight. He lost.
No, he lost.
Steroid head. What's his name?
Steroid head. Yeah, I know.
That dude beat him.
No, yeah, I know. I don't think he lost that fight.
Really?
Really? Steroid head. That's.
Paulo Costa. That's his name.
I like how we're calling him Steroid Head and not Yoel Romero.
No, but I'm saying, yeah, that's true, because he looks like he was built in a lab. He looks like Thanos' brother. But
here's why I'm mad at Jay Hieron, and I love Jay Hieron. He's a good friend of mine. Like we go to every fight together in like Vegas. But here's what annoys me. People don't know this is a podcast, right? So last night, you know, I got to watch the baby all day long, and people are like, "Oh, watching the baby." Watching a 2-year-old from 8 a.m. to 6 is no joke.
I know.
Then I got to get some kind of a workout in because I'm going crazy. Then my wife's like, "When's our quality time together?" Because she works all day. So then I got to figure out how to do quality. I have to clean the house, and then I have to like write new jokes. I got to update. I have another podcast I do. I got to upload that. My computer freezes all the time. Then I'm like, okay, I got to do something else. I got to make a flyer for tonight's show. And then I'm like, all right, I have a couple hours. My wife went to bed. I'm like, I've had Jay Hieron on my podcast, like 10 times already. What am I going to talk about with him? And he's a guy that right now has been in, 10 shows. He was just in he was just in John Wick 3. He was in Iron Fist, Luke Cage. He was in Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Equalizer 2, which he had like a part with Denzel Washington. He's also fought everyone from GSP to whatever. So I spent all night long watching his fights on Fight Pass.
Right.
And it's not like you could just get to some of his fights because he was on like Affliction, Day of Reckoning. So I got to go find, he's at, hour 2, minute 4 to watch him knock out Jason High. And I'm like, fuck, I never saw this fight. I can't wait. So now I'm like, oh, it's going to be a great podcast. We got Shang.
You're waiting for it, right?
And then he doesn't fucking pick up. And now that bugs the fuck out of me. Because now people are like, oh, you don't have any good guests. Or fucking, this show fucks without me.
He knows the time, right?
Dude, 3 times I fucking texted him. And he said, he goes, remind me Tuesday morning. So I fucking reminded him Tuesday morning. What am I going to do? I mean, that's like what people don't see on a podcast. And I'm just giving you guys, I know I'm complaining and yada, yada. And look, we do shows, 4 days a week. But I'm just letting you know that because I don't want to just have the generic, what have you been up to? How's your quarantine been?
You want to talk about stuff, right? I know, the person I watched, I just weird you are up watching. I watched Fight Pass. I watched Tony Ferguson's fights.
Hell yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something. Something's wrong with him. Am I telling the truth? He would take damage and still look at you like, that's not enough. He's a fucking
He'll
monster.
text me at like 4 a.m. sometimes. He'll say things like, we got to do a sketch for MMA awards. I'm like, dude, well, the awards are like in 8 months. He didn't get back to me when I wanted to do a skit for him. But I'm like, all right, cool. And then I'm like, I'll throw him some ideas and then he'll back and then I'll hear nothing back from him. But he's a good dude. Like
but he's a fucking warrior, man. Like out of all of the fighters, just something weird about him, but there's something different about him.
Oh, totally something different about him. That's what makes him so much fun.
Yeah.
And Gaethje's a fucking psycho too. So that fight's, I mean, people that are complaining, I wanted Khabib versus Ferguson. Look, I want to fucking schlong like Mandingo, okay?
Exactly.
Fucking, not
Can't
that
have it.
I'm not complaining about my schlong, but I'm just saying, fucking be happy, guys. Everything else is off the air, and Dana White is giving us 3 fights in 10 fucking days, okay? When everyone's mad at him for doing so, and people are still like, oh, this is not cool. Then, like, what the fuck do you want? He's literally going to the only state. He's building an island that you guys to have fights in.
Like an Enter the Dragon island where people can go and fight.
And people are still mad at him. Like, what do you want?
Know why? Because people are a bunch of yogurty ass. People are yogurty. And they've been yogurty. They get all sensitive and soft about it.
People complain to me like, dude, I'm unsubscribing to your channel. I'm like, then bro, then go. It's YouTube. There's literally 8 billion other things to fucking watch.
Go watch cat videos. Shut the fuck up.
Go ahead. I'm giving you a fucking hour-and-a-half show every day. I'm not making much money on this, if any. All right. I'm just trying to have fun, talk to my friends, fucking get the word out, promote some fights, talk to fighters, keep life entertaining for everybody, and that's all I'm trying to do. And people are like, ooh, then go complain. What the fuck what do you want?
Well, and you can't control the fighters. The fighters were supposed to be on the podcast. You can't make them you can't go to their house. And even if you did go to their house, what are you going to do to them?
Jay Hieron, I fucking love Jay Hieron. But right now I could go to get Don Fry on or I get someone else. But whatever. I'll get Jay on later on this week. Tomorrow we got Ali Aquinta. And that's the other thing. We got Vince Pichel, Ali Aquinta, and Eve Edwards on tomorrow. And
Eve Edwards is funny, man.
Funny, and
smart.
Some of his fights. Like Weendog, I didn't even realize he fought Masvidal, and he fought Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
Holy shit.
In fact, when he fought Masvidal, there's an interview with Masvidal where he said, that's the person I was afraid of.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said he was afraid of him because Eve, his wrestling was like sneaky, but that motherfucker will kick you in the head and it was lights out.
He also has no expression. Like, he's one of these dudes that like you can't get in his head.
Yeah, it doesn't. Nothing shakes him. Like, you don't see him get shook.
No, nothing shakes this guy.
Yeah.
That's which is like scary. That's a scary. Like, I'll tell you, people like, who's the scariest person I've ever met in real life, fighting wise? Josh Barnett. Josh Barnett.
Really?
He has those killer eyes.
He has the eyes where like, oh, at any moment he can snap and just.
He has like the opposite. He has dead eyes. Like, he has those eyes that like
those eyes.
Like, he might have like he has those he has Dexter eyes. You know how like Dexter, you know how Dexter nothing ever got to Dexter the first couple seasons.
So that was the scariest out of all of the fighters.
Dude, there's something about that guy, and like I'm a big fan of Josh Barnett, but he told me that back in the day he couldn't get training partners. He would go online and be like, "Hey, you're a big guy. Do you want to fight me tomorrow at the YMCA?" And then they would just pick a YMCA in Washington. There'd be like a pool there, and kids would be in swimming lessons, and two fucking huge guys would be fighting in the weight room upstairs. Like, that's
okay, scary dude. Like the scary, no, I mean, all of them are scary to me because I know, even though they're really nice people,
yeah,
they could really rip my arm off and just start beating me with it. Believe it or not, he wasn't scary, but I just saw that like undercurrent. You introduced me to him, Tyron
Woodley, yeah,
because he had that undercurrent like, I could really fuck you up.
Yeah, and Woodley's one of those dudes that like,
he's nice, but somebody came over and started talking to him the wrong way when we're standing in front of the dime, and I saw him go from being really cool with me, and then he started being a little bit.
Well, he's also really smart, but he's got a chip on his shoulder,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And he's also very aware. Some people like think they can like kind of insult you without insulting you. They insult you, but you're like not gonna catch it,
Right.
And he'll catch it. He's also kind of like a pit bull where like you have to watch where you're at, but once he's your friend, he's your best friend, and
he was super cool. But then somebody came over and said the wrong shit to him, and he said, I think somebody said that he thought that if Robbie Lawler would have got up, he would have won that fight. I'm like, no, I mean, you got to watch the fight. There was no way Robbie Lawler was getting back up.
Fans are so stupid. Like,
they're just stupid. Dude. I mean, like, he don't get me wrong, Robbie Lawler is a dog. But in that fight, it wasn't, Wayne, you saw that fight.
Yeah.
When Robbie Lawler went down, you saw literally his legs buckle.
Mm-hmm.
So even if he could get back up, he wouldn't have had any legs.
Yeah, dude. No, I don't get why a lot of people get mad at the refs. I sometimes put myself in the refs' like shoes. I don't think I could physically or mentally handle reffing a fight on that magnitude. You know what I'm saying? So I would probably be fucking up so much. So anytime a ref fucks up or stops a fight too early or too late, I give them the benefit of the doubt. Because when you're standing in the middle of an arena full of 20,000 people, and there's 10 million people watching at home, I'd be sweating. My referee shirt would be soaking wet in sweat because of the pressure of fucking up this fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but sometimes the refs are absolutely right because some people will continue to beat this dude while he's unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Henderson did that, and Bisbane was out. And he still was giving him extra fucking packages of knuckles.
Oh, yeah.
And that kind of shit happens because they're so hyped up from the fight or they don't like each other. They start fucking each other up like they know the dude's out. They keep hitting them. You got to have a ref like that. In the Robbie Lawler fight, when he lost, his legs buckled and you saw his eyes like roll back up in his head. Yeah. Tyron knocked the fucking shit out of him.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. So I don't understand. Adam just says it. He said, fans are stupid. It's like, you don't understand. The ref had to get in there.
Yeah.
Because he could have really, really, really hurt Robbie Lawler. And Robbie Lawler, even though I think he's a dog, I still think that was a fight where he had to know. That was it.
They also trained together a lot. And I think Tyron kind of knew that going in. I think he knew his timing. They sparred together.
Right.
Yeah, no, the fans. There was a guy that went up to Rashad Evans and tried to get him to sign a picture of him getting knocked out by Machida. Like the shot where he's knocked out.
Right.
And was like, hey, could you sign this? And he was like, no. I'm like, how stupid do you have to be to go up to a guy who's a professional killer and get him to try to sign a picture of him getting knocked out at his lowest moment? His lowest moment. Could you, I mean, I don't even know what my lowest moment is. Like, maybe when my mom died and I'm crying. Imagine someone goes, hey, can you take a picture of you crying when you found out your mom died? Like, I'd be like, are you out of your fucking mind? Like,
some people would knock your eye through your ass, but I think that they have a control. But there's a certain point where it's like, yo, you're stepping over the line, and that's when I was in front of the dime, and Adam had introduced me to him, and I'm talking to him, and he was super cool, and he's talking to him, and then for a person to come up and say that, I was just like, why would you? That's the first thing you say to the dude that's a champion. Why wouldn't you say? Like, I was more like, man, I'm happy for you. Like, and you say that, and you see him snap from being real cordial to, what the fuck did you say? Yeah. Like, almost like that. But I don't understand, like, if somebody did something like that. Joe Rogan does have a bit that's very funny. He said, I'm in a room full of people that if they wanted to rape me, there's nothing I could do.
Yeah.
And it's really like that. That's why I don't understand why people treat UFC fighters, even the lowest level UFC fighter, will fuck up the average good fighter.
Yeah, no, a 125 pounder in the UFC would fuck up the average person in a heartbeat. It wouldn't even be close. It wouldn't even be close.
I even sparring with lightweights, and I'm 280, and I was like, this dude's killing me. Like, he's like, just chop your legs from under you.
Well, a lot of guys, though, a lot of guys that are lighter, I remember Mayhem told us that he likes sparring with bigger guys because of the speed factor.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I mean, when I was at wrestling in high school, I was 140, and I could pin everybody on my team from the lightest to the heavyweight, like, easy. And the heavyweight was, like, the easiest. Because he, even though he was fat and big, he didn't know how to control his weight. He wasn't a very good heavyweight.
Right.
Now, you have to know so much of jiu-jitsu. Like, when I used to go jiu-jitsu, and I'm going to go back, people would look at me and be like, oh, he's average, a little above average build. But they're like, holy shit, how strong are you? I'm like, it's not benching muscle. It's knowing where to put my weight.
Just shift.
And then all that is experience. And if you don't have that experience, there's nothing you can do. I mean, that's why it probably was really hard for guys like, a guy like Czech Congo, who's just a massive Adonis, of a man, but still a grappling doesn't know where to. It's gonna take a while for him to figure out how to move his weight. I mean, there were UFC fighters that I used to wrestle with that I was able to kind of throw around in the very beginning, and then they were they got much better, and obviously they improved. But because they didn't know how to use it, they were amazing at Muay Thai and kickboxing. This is also very early on. Now they fucking throw me around. Also, OSP is fighting Ben Rothwell. OSP moved up to heavyweight. I don't know. I think he might be dangerous at heavyweight.
You think so?
I agree.
You don't think some people move up to heavyweight and they slow down.
It's possible.
No, like some people that you see that if they're a light heavyweight or they're middleweight and they move up, all that speed is gone. Or especially people who bulk up on muscle, you're losing speed. I don't know about that. I don't know. Especially heavyweight,
I don't think OSP is known for his speed, though, right? He's known for just sort of just throwing a head kick out of nowhere or getting you on the ground and then Von Fluke.
That's still part of speed.
Sure.
I think at this point in his career, he's going to beat Ben Rothwell. But I think when he gets, if he stays at heavyweight, like OSP versus Ngannou, I don't think it's going to end very well for OSP.
Yeah.
I think
Ngannou's something. I mean, he got that mega strength.
I think he might be catching Ben Rothwell in the tail end of his career. I think he got popped for steroids a couple times. He hasn't fought that often. And this might be a good fight for OSP, a good coming out party for heavyweight. But at that next tier of heavyweight, it's not gonna go that well.
You think he's gonna get housed?
I just think that there's heavyweight versions of OSP.
Right.
They're
used to the weight. They've been living. Oh yeah, you're right.
They're bigger guys. Also, Andre Arlovsky is taking on Felipe Lins. Felipe Lins won the PFL. I got to go with Lins in this. Arlovsky, another guy who I hate to say it, but his best days are behind him. Yeah. So there you go. And then we got fuck, my sister's calling. This is just a fucking train wreck of a show. Sorry.
God damn it.
God damn it.
Eric Anders is taking on Jotko. That should be a good fight. I like Eric Anders. Oh, yeah, so Trap Gambino's coming. At least we got the Gambino family coming in.
Hey.
Trap Gambino. So
Here he is.
Gambino, how are you, man?
What's up?
Can't hear him.
How are you? That's actually Trap Gambino, by the way. That's not a fake picture. It's him with 8 women. So this guy, all right, so a little background on Trap Gambino. I met him and his girlfriend or his wife, Ashley Gambino. They came to my show in Vegas. I saw lots of pictures of him with like 9 women or 10 women and I was sort of just confused as to what the hell is going on. Seemed like a nice guy. He seemed like a real nice guy.
Yeah, volume all the way up.
And he used to make music.
My headphones.
He's also a fighter. He's an actor. And
there we go.
They're calling
you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, buddy. They're
All
calling.
right, we're good now.
So they're calling you the Don of Las Vegas, right?
It's something like that, I guess so. They call me a lot of things, man.
So I'm very confused about you because I met you in Vegas. Seemed like a super nice guy, but like I look at these pictures. You're always with like 10, 15 naked women. Who are these women? Who are you? What's going on? Talk to me, Trap.
You know what, man? I don't fucking know, man. I'm a guy who was a fan of the sport. I started out in Ohio. I'm from Ohio, small town, just had big dreams. Came to Vegas and started making shit happen. Now I'm here. I'm ready to whoop some ass, and that's about it, man.
Now you started boxing at the Salvation Army?
Yes. Yeah, when I was a kid, Salvation Army, they had a little program where the little fucking almost homeless kids used to go over there and beat each other up. And I used to go over there and get beat up by all the Mexican kids, and I think that's where I learned how to box.
Got it. Now, I saw on Facebook this is your first fight, but then I saw you were 4-1. Somebody has you as like 4-1.
You know what, brother? There's so many fucking fake profiles out there. There's, I think that's where a lot of this confusion comes from, because a lot of people, there's fake profiles that message real people, and then those real people talk shit to the fake Trap Gambino. And, you know, their shit talk will hurt the real Trap Gambino's feelings, so I'll talk shit to them, and now they got beef with the real me. Hey, how do I push this button where I can see everybody?
Go to top right where it says profile view. Or
speaker view.
Speaker view.
Something like that. Should be in the top right corner.
Yeah.
You know, fuck it. It's not a big deal.
No, you see the top right? There's like speaker view, and then there's also something view, top right. So, okay, so when I had you and your wife on, I got a bunch of texts saying that you and your wife were having wrestling sessions with women online for money, and they were naked. And is this any of this true? Like, what is this? Talk to me about this.
So the reason you won't find videos and pictures of that shit happening is because it's not true. There's a fucking fetish wrestling, group that, I don't know, these girls call up dudes and they say, hey, I'll choke you out with my legs for like $300. It's basically fucking prostitution.
Right.
And I'm not a fan of that shit, and they know it, so they kind of accuse me and Ashley of doing that, because there's videos of Ashley on YouTube choking my friends out in my living room. So they kind of put 2 and 2 together and think it's session wrestling. Okay. That's just another rumor from more fake profiles. And man, it's crazy. I think more people know I think my fake profile is more famous than I am. To be honest with you.
So you never did fetish wrestling. That's all.
I never did fetish wrestling.
Okay. You heard it here first, people. Trap Gambino does not do fetish wrestling. Shang.
Now Wayne does do fetish wrestling.
I do the reverse way, though. I pay girls to come over here and so I can choke them out and slap them out.
Hey, everybody's got a thing, man.
Everybody's got a thing, yeah, exactly.
I think it's close to prostitution, but, whatever.
So you got your first fight in Brave. This is your first fight ever. And how much do you weigh?
Right now I'm like 380.
You're 380, and you're fighting a guy who's also a bigger guy. And this is your. And now where are you training at in Vegas?
So right now, because of quarantine, everybody's training in their fucking homes and their backyards and shit. But thankfully, I'm in Las Vegas, where I'm blessed to be around a lot of talent around here, man. And I have talent coming over to my house, straight up just coming over to my house and helping me out one-on-ones, three sessions. And it's you know, you just get it where you can, man. I've been doing yoga. I've been having hella quarantine sex. I've been practicing the missionary position. Hell, I might hold my opponent down and just fuck the shit out of him. Yeah. I don't know if that's legal, but it's in Florida, so it might be.
All right, so you're planning on fucking this guy. Now, what do you know about this guy, Marquis Fath? He's a huge black dude. But what else do you know about him?
So, he's a big black guy. Probably listens to rap music.
Probably,
yeah. We can make that assumption.
Yeah, I don't know. To be all honest, he's a cool dude. I did some research on him a little bit. He ain't got many. I don't think he's got like 2 or 3 fights. I haven't seen much on him, but I respect this guy just because he's not falling into all that stupid trolling bullshit. These fucking profiles that are talking shit to him. They're talking shit to this guy, to my opponent, posting pictures of pretending to be me, and he's not falling into it, thankfully. He's one of the few that haven't fell into it, and I appreciate that. So I respect this guy. I'm going in with full respect. I know he's a tough guy. I know he's more experienced than me. I know that he's coming and taking this fight seriously, and so am I. So
it's at Palm Beach State College. You guys are the main event. Your first fight, and you're already the main event. Now, is this pro or amateur?
This is amateur.
Amateur fight. You're 380. This guy must be about 350.
He's about the same weight. Yeah, I'm guessing I'll be about 350, 360 when I step in there.
You're smoking a lot of weed. Is that a good thing?
How you assume this is weed? Yeah, you know what, man? I'll probably quit about 6 to 8 weeks out because this shit calms me down, and I don't want to be calm during the fight. I just lost you for some reason. Am I still here?
I can see you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jay Hieron, is that you, by the way?
Yeah. Yes, sir. I'm in here.
Turn your video on, Jay.
Oh, how do I do that? Bro, come on, dude.
Should
have had your wife figured out like I had mine.
There should be a little video on. So I'm trying to get Marquis Fath on. He told me that he's getting off the expressway now to park. This is a very very organized press conference.
You said it's very organized.
Right, so here he is. We got Marquis Fath. We're gonna have Jay Hieron on right now. By the way, Jay is a former UFC fighter, Strikeforce fighter. He's been in Bellator. He's huge wins. He was supposed to be on earlier, but he forgot about the show, even though I get him tickets to every fight.
I didn't forget, bro. I was
all fucking night watching.
I was in the middle of the fucking desert.
All right.
Hey, if you're a fan of the sport, you know who that guy is.
So we're gonna talk to Jay about his own career, but first we got this press conference. So Marquis Fath, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing today?
Good. Now, Trap Gambino was talking a lot of shit about you before the fight, by the way, just now. He was saying all kinds of things. He said he's going to no, he didn't say that, but he said that his plan is possibly to take you down and have sex with you during this fight. Is that something that you're prepared for?
Actually, I'm absolutely prepared for the takedowns. I don't know about the sex part. I don't know about that, but I'm absolutely prepared for the takedowns.
All right. Now, is this your first fight as well?
No. I've had a couple Thai fights, one MMA fight, which was a few months ago. But no, this would be my second MMA fight.
Is that a drop tap? That's a nice whip.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
And
but yeah, I got I had a few. Of course, I grew up boxing, so I've got a couple amateur boxing fights. From like the ages of 8 through like 14. So.
And what's your record in MMA?
0-1 right now.
All right, you're 0-1. Okay, all right. Now, Trap Gambino, he's got some power. He's 380 pounds. He hangs out with a lot of hot strippers, a lot of hot porn stars. How are you going to deal with his power?
Well, I have a lot of power myself. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, I've taken some punches. So, dealing with power, dealing with punches shouldn't be an issue for me. You know, I can hang with the best of them. I train with some pretty top tier guys who hit pretty hard, fast hands. So, dealing with power definitely won't be an issue for me.
All right. So, why are you going to beat Trap Gambino?
I got a lot to prove right now. I'm coming off a loss. A loss I felt they took from, you know what I'm saying? A loss I felt they kind of took from me. I just got a lot to prove. I got a lot on my back, a lot of personal stuff I've been dealing with. And you know what I'm saying? The best way to get it off is to unleash that onto somebody else. So, I mean, I don't see me losing this fight. I can't afford to lose this fight.
And Trap, how and why are you going to beat up Marquis Fath?
Say that again.
How and why are you going to beat him?
It's no secret, man. Stand up is where my game is. I'm gonna go in there and I'm throw some hands. I know this guy's probably, you know, all in all, he might be the better fighter than me. But I know I'm gonna catch him, man. I know I'm gonna catch him. Just like he knows he can't lose this fight. I can't lose this fight. I've had years of people doubting me, and I've made it here through people doubting me. I came this far through people doubting me. Now I'm just wondering, how fucking far can I take this thing? You know what I mean? I made it this far. Let's see what else I can do. Let's see if I can do the same thing in the gym I can do.
The only thing is you could catch me. I'm not even gonna say you can't. Anybody can get caught, but if you catch me, can you finish it? Is the question.
Only one way to find out.
You gotta finish it.
That's a great question.
Shang,
I'm a tough guy to finish, man.
See, that's a great question because nobody knows exactly what's going to happen in this fight. Nobody knows. There's no footage of me. There's nothing like that. People don't know if I'm going to come in with a karate stance and get knocked out quick. They don't know if I'm going to come in there and try to wrestle. They don't know if I'm going to box. But, you know, I've been dropping hits left and right. The only way to find out is to tune in, man. This fight is going to be fun. I promise you. It's going to be fireworks.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Now, who out of the two of you, who has banged more chicks? Like, what the kids are saying, like, it's called the body count now. It's called the body count. What's your body count? So we'll start with Trap. How many chicks are we talking here, dog?
In all honesty, like banged, probably about 8. I'm not even playing. I'm not
all
even
right.
up front. Probably about 8.
All right, Marquis.
Those bitches you see me kicking it with, those are all promotion, man. Like, I'm not even on front, man. That's all promotion. When you see me kicking in the limos, as soon as that fucking camera goes off, I'm like, get the fuck off me. I don't want these bitches on me. I want money and I want power and I want to fight, man. I don't want to. I'll fuck when I deserve it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'll party when I deserve it. All that other shit's just for promotion, man. It's just for character.
I was a stud in high school, football stud in high school and college. So I got a pretty long rap sheet, I'd say. As of late, though, you know, I'm kind of in a different, you know what I'm saying, different mind frame. So, you know, my savage life is kind of behind me, you know, as, you know, the past couple years. But I got a count that I've probably lost count on. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So Marquis has advantage there.
That's a big advantage in the fight, yeah.
Shang, any questions for these two?
I couldn't.
Do you have any
want a question.
Yeah, you're part of the press.
I didn't know that. No, I'm gonna ask Trap and then Marquis. All right, so do you have a specific thing that since you are gonna be fighting that you know you can use that other than power, because you both said shit about power. I'm talking about, do you have any technique that you go, if he tries to use this on me, I know I can use this?
I've watched his sparring more times than I think I've slept in the past month. I see holes, but you know what? Again, I'm less experienced than him. So if I stay in there long enough, he's gonna see my holes. But the thing is, he can't see any holes right now. That's on you know, footage, because there ain't shit up on it. Go ahead.
I've seen Ashley's holes, but that's because on your Instagram. All right, go on.
So anyways, like, a lot of people, when I go in there sparring, they never see me and shit. All my shit's you know, off of YouTube and all that, they get fucking confused. They see a big guy, they think I'm gonna come in there and just throw haymakers. They don't know what's coming, man. I can cut angles, I can slip, I can counter. It's gonna be interesting, man. I'm excited to show everybody what I can got. I've been doing this in the gym for the longest. You can ask anybody I've trained with. I've been doing this in the gym to top guys for the longest fucking time. If I can do the same thing in the cage that I can do in the gym, it's gonna be history, man. That's why I'm the fucking main event. There's a reason I'm the main event. There's a reason somebody who's 0-1 is gonna be the main event with me. I'm bringing motherfuckers up with me. There's a reason we're on this podcast. There's a reason you know me.
It's true.
I mean, who else you know hasn't even made a debut yet? You know what I mean? You see me everywhere. I'm with all these motherfuckers. Nick Diaz, you see all these motherfuckers with me, man. So I'm the best kept secret, and it's about to be let out.
Marquis?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hear him talk a lot about stand up and banging. So when I hear a guy talk like that, I immediately hear holes in ground game. Ooh. So see, I've got a pretty strong jiu-jitsu background. I picked jiu-jitsu up great. I've actually never lost a jiu-jitsu match. I've won gold in every tournament I've fought in. I even had one tournament I had it was about 8 guys in my bracket, so I had to go through about four matches. And so I'm pretty strong in jiu-jitsu. So I feel his biggest hole is probably gonna be the ground. If I take him down, get him to the ground, he'll probably be like a whale on land. And I mean that may be one of my biggest points I utilize.
All right, listen. All right, our final question. So Trap, you're a rapper. You made a couple rap albums, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Will you do a rap about how you're gonna beat up Marquis Fath?
No, man, I can't do that.
Come on.
Yeah. First of all, you're going to put me on the spot. I'm high as fuck here. And
Marquis,
I'm not good at freestyle.
Marquis, do you rap about how you're going to beat up Trap?
Well, I'm not a rapper, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. If I could, I would. But you know, I'm not a rapper. But we going to bang and, you know, we gonna get this thing shaking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, Jay Hieron, who do you think is going to win this fight?
I don't know, bro. I just got on here. I'm still trying to figure out the video, man.
Okay, right. Okay. We have a black guy with dreadlocks against an Italian guy with a gold chain.
Oh shit! It's fireworks.
So who do you think is gonna win?
Whoever lands first, they sound like some heavy hitters.
Yeah, well, Travis.
That's right.
Marquis, how much do you weigh?
Right now, I'm about 350, 356.
Damn.
Wow.
That's some big meat in the cage.
Yeah.
That's about how much the other guy?
The other guy's 380.
Woo. That's some big meat in there.
Yeah,
listen, whoever lands first in that one.
Yeah.
Real men.
Whoever lands first, that's a lot of weight behind those punches.
Okay, who's seen their penis in the last year?
Yo.
Yeah, a few times.
Hey, I can only see it when it get hard. That's it.
Oh, all right. That's the only time you got to see it, man.
Exactly. That's the only time I need to see it. So.
Yeah, that's the only time we need it. Don't hate.
All right, now, all right. Well, listen, I'm excited about this fight. This is going to be a great. How do you turn on video? All right, Jay. There's a little video thing in the bottom. You just press it. All right.
Might need to reconnect because he called in from his phone. I don't know if he's using the app or not.
Yeah, why the fuck is it so hard to use, man? This shit is hard as hell to use.
Yeah,
it is. It's very difficult.
No, it's not real.
All right, so
I'm not on the app.
So what should I do? Download the app?
Yeah, for sure. Get
my
the
wife
app.
do it for me.
All right, so Jay, download. All right, hang out, download the app. Call back in a second. I watched every one of your fights last night, by the way, and I watched all your movies and all your TV shows. I was up till 4 in the morning.
Oh man.
And then all right, so hang up.
Doing research.
I'm calling back in, bro. Relax. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm gonna download it.
Marquis, and I want to say that Marquis the Trap. I mean, the bottom line is when you get in there, he did say most fights end up on the ground, man. I'm Trap. Most fights end up on the ground. So
right.
unless you stand up, and just say fuck it, let's just bang. But I like the fact that you both were like, look, we're going to put on a show. That's
Yeah, you know,
people don't that come in there and like go full blast. So that's
yeah,
good.
you know, everybody says they're gonna take me down and stuff. I hear that in sparring all the time, but then all of a sudden ego comes into play and they don't want to let me hit them more than they hit me. Or, you know, in my honest opinion, I think he's gonna come out and try kicks. I think that's what he's gonna try to do. I don't think he's gonna let. I mean, he could go to ground game if he wants to, but that could be the easy route in his mind. So, in everybody else's mind, or I could have a surprise for him there. You know, I've been training with a lot of people, man. I trained at Juan Fight Team. I trained at the Mayweather gym with my stand-up. I've trained at all over, man. Vegas, cross-training is where it's at. You almost don't want a fucking gym over here. And I'm excited for this fight, man. You guys definitely want to tune in, whether it's pay-per-view. I don't know if they're smart, they're going to put it $5 pay-per-view for the whole fucking thing online. Because there's a lot of people who want to see me get knocked out. There's a lot of people who want to see me hurt somebody. And it's about fucking time, man. It's about time to do it.
When is this fight?
Hopefully July 4th.
July 4th. All right.
I'm just going to push back because of the bullshit we're dealing with, but yeah.
So,
Yeah. It was supposed to be April 25th, actually. But hopefully it's July 4th, so.
And it's super heavyweight. So is there any weight limit you can't be over or no?
I have no idea.
No, it's super heavyweight. You can come in at any weight.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's uncapped.
Wow. That's awesome.
It's a guy in Tennessee. I was actually supposed to fight last year, but he pulled out. He weighed 505.
Was it Oprah?
That's a big boy.
First
That's
off,
a big boy.
515. Settle down.
Now, is there a belt that fits you guys if you win or no?
I don't think so. They got it. Yeah. They got to get a custom. They got to get a custom belt.
Oh, wow.
It's 2 miles long.
Now, when you go to your corner in between rounds, are you going to ask for a menu or no? I know. No,
that'd be nice.
This is going to be a great fight. I like it. I like it.
It's fucking good.
This is going to be awesome. I'm excited about this fight. Shang, you?
I want to see. I know. You know what? I think I already know who's going to win this fight because it was telling when somebody says that I'm just going to stand up. That's the worst shit to say, bro.
So you think the black guy's going to win?
The black guy.
Isn't that always the safe bet?
Yeah.
No, that's not why. Because if you look at all the UFC fighters, you look at all the fighters that when they fight a wrestler or they fight somebody that can do jiu-jitsu, that's a problem. Especially if you're a stand-up fighter. If you're a stand-up fighter and you go against jiu-jitsu or wrestling, because I've seen wrestlers go up really good strikers that got power and get their ass kicked because they couldn't wrestle. That's all I'm saying.
I completely agree.
That's why Khabib dominates people. That's why Usman dominated Woodley like he did. Strong wrestling is a strong wrestling background is pretty much one of the best bases you can have.
I completely agree, but this is the thing. So statistics also playing a part of that. I have been beating statistics for a very long time, and I think it's only destiny that Gambino is going against Fath, because I've been fighting Fath my whole life, man. And this time, there's a percentage chance I can win. There's a percentage chance I can lose. We all know, everybody thinks I'm going to lose.
Anybody can get caught.
Everybody thinks I'm going to lose.
Any day.
Everybody also thought I wouldn't make it here. Everybody also thought I wouldn't make it this far. I've been proving people wrong for the longest time. I've been landing that little shot for the longest time. I'm ready to do it again.
Are you going to walk out to the Godfather music?
No, but I might walk out with a hoe train. Wouldn't that be nice?
That'd be awesome.
I'm not even playing.
Me and Ween are on the same page.
Gotta do it, dude.
A hoe train. Gambino hoe train. That would be it. Now, your last name isn't Fath, though, is it?
No, it's Nelson. That's a name that's essentially like just kind of a nickname I've been called.
So, and your last name isn't Gambino. So both of you guys have different last names.
Right.
I like
hey, it's show business. Well, you probably got some Jewish last name or something too, right?
It's true. Greenberg. I like it. I love this. This is great.
See, I know. Hey, man, I'm an actor. I know it. I know that's show business.
This is going to be great. Listen, I'm excited about this fight. I don't know, man. I mean, did you wrestle at all in high school, Marcus?
Yeah. I wrestled probably my 8th grade and 9th grade year. And then from there on, I just went strictly football because wrestling season and football season was the same during the same time. So.
Well, listen. Now you can see them, Jay.
Oh shit, he's in the house.
I got it.
There you go.
Hey man, I'm a big fan.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Listen, thank you guys for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
What's the fighting promotion called?
It's called Rise Fighting. Rise Cage Fighting. Yeah.
Rise FC. Yeah.
Rise FC. It's going down probably July 4th. Trap Gambino's first MMA fight. Marquis Fath is going to try to get his first win. It's going to be a great fight. He wants to stand and bang. Marquis wants to put him on the ground. He said if that happens, Trap wants to fuck him. So very fight. I like it though. I like it. Good luck to both you guys. Hope you guys.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, man, appreciate it.
All right, take care, guys.
All right, boss.
All right, that was an MMA
What's
roast.
happening?
What's up? You got it, man. You got it. You figured it.
Yeah, I figured it out.
Yeah.
I'm in the house.
So we got Jay Hieron here. This is Shang Forbes, by the way, great comedian.
I seen him before.
We got Bean Dog. Jay, how's now? Listen, I know you're a man on the move. You got like 19 shows in development. You're training.
Right.
You're fighting. Your girlfriend's a butt model. How is this? How is this quarantine affecting you right now?
Oh, I'm fucking. Everything's done. Lockdown. No checks coming in.
Are you still training now?
Yeah, I'm still training. That's what I was doing earlier. I was out on the bike with Brad. We were out in Red Rock, getting after it, doing some trails. So picking up some new things.
Now, Shang, if you don't know Jay's story, so I used to watch Jay wrestle in high school. He was a two-time state, came in second in the state twice in New York. He was a beast. His name was Jay Hieron back then. He was small, 115 pounds, fucking monster, right? He was adopted at age 1, but legally adopted at 8. So were your parents planning on returning you? Like what happened?
Yeah, it was a test run. See how it worked out. They might have gave me back.
But seriously, for 8 years?
No. Yeah, well, no, I mean, my biological mother was still in the picture. So, going back and forth to court and stuff like that.
Now, he's from Freeport, right? Freeport, which is like, I'm from Oceanside. And when we used to play football in middle school at Freeport, when they came off the bus, it was all, we knew we lost, it was all black dudes. We were like, all right, we're not going to win.
In Spanish.
Yeah, in Spanish.
Yeah, we're like, we're not winning this game. This game's not going to. So Jay then went to community college. He went to Nassau Community College, which was like the hottest women in the world are at Nassau Community College. You go to Harvard.
I went to Iowa right out of high school.
I went to Iowa
Central, yeah. My coach, Terry Hayes, he was like, yo, Jimmy. He called me Jimmy. He's like, you got to get you out of here. We got to get you out of New York. And he sent me to Iowa. And but I hated it. I was there for
But you hated it?
Literally. I hated it. Man, I'm a sticker. And the first thing I did was after graduating high school, I went to Iowa. Man, that was crazy. So yeah, I didn't it wasn't a good look, and I transferred over after the first semester.
Were you the only black guy at that college or no?
No, they actually had a lot of brothers there too. But I just was. They didn't like Yankees. They didn't like They didn't like East Coast guys. So I didn't really get along. Well, I did get along with the athletes, but I was just. It was me at that time. I didn't. I wasn't adjusting well out there.
So then
but the wrestling was great. I mean, for
right?
wrestling-wise and training-wise, it was great. I mean, the guy that I was training with every day, and I was actually doing really well with him, his name was Ironside. He ended up winning the JUCOs that year.
Mike Ironside.
And, Mike Ironside. And, I went back. I took the semester off, and I went back to Nassau, which was great.
Dude, so Nassau College is like every kid in Long Island and Queens who thinks they're going to go pro, they don't because their grades suck. But their parents think so. They all have to go to Nassau Community College, and they win in every lacrosse fucking tournament in the world. Their wrestling team is a bunch of savages because all guys that did nothing but play sports in high school. which is that had terrible grades. But they just end up fucking everyone up. So he wins the junior college, goes to Hofstra, right? The same year I got recruited to Hofstra. And this guy, Tom Ryan, took over. Tom Ryan's now the best. He was like the best coach. Right now he's at Ohio State, but he fails a marijuana test. They kick him out of school.
Man.
Right? Which is now, by the way, so Phil Baroni says that one day he brought boxing gloves to practice. He knocked out Tom Ryan in boxing. Is that true?
I don't remember that, but he definitely brought the gloves in and knocked a few guys out on the team a few times. I don't remember him knocking out Ryan. I wasn't there that day, but I seen him drop a few guys in the wrestling room. And this is before. This is still when it was one boxing glove and a karate guy fighting. You know what I mean? Back in MMA days. So,
Right.
and he was doing boxing back then, Golden Gloves.
Now, what were you ranked when you got kicked out of school?
3rd in the country, D1.
Fuck.
Wow.
And the test that I got popped on for smoking weed was the school test, was Hofstra's test. It wasn't the NCAA's. And it was my last year of competition. So, you know, it was my own fault. I could sit here and blame everybody. Oh, why didn't you go to bat for me? But, you know, I was smoking the weed and, you know, that's what happened. But I felt like he could have done a little more for me, the coach at the time. And the school at the time, I mean, they knew it was my last year of competing. And, but, you know, everything in life happens for a reason. That's what ultimately got me into the path I was into MMA. So
then Jay says, fuck this, right? You know what? The system fucked me up. I'm going to sell cocaine, right? So he becomes a huge coke dealer in New York. I mean, we're talking about, he's buying like fucking Lambos. And
Nah. Come on, get it straight. You making it a movie, bro.
Private planes.
You doing extra. No. It was Mercedes. Let's say Mercedes. And, you know, stuff like that.
Fur coat, fucking white bitches.
Yeah, I had a fur.
A little ice, a little bit of ice, not a lot of ice.
It's a dream.
Yeah, some ice. Yeah. No flying, no jets, and no stuff like that. Though.
He gets set up.
But yeah,
right?
I was doing okay.
One of his boys set him up. So then he gets arrested, and he's looking at, what, 20 years?
No. It was like 5 to life. Well, it carried a life, like, you know, sentence if you get in trouble, like probation. It's all set up. Like, you know, you cop out to that. Now you get in trouble again. You're going away for a long time. But it was A2 felony, which is A2 nonviolent, which the only other charge above that is A1. So, you know, it was definitely a high charge. And yeah. But it was great because it changed my life. You know what I mean?
So then his parents are like, what the fuck? Who do we adopt? Right? So then his parents, we
picked the wrong one.
They picked the wrong one. But why didn't we return him? We had 7 years to return him. So then they put their house up for sale, right? They had to bail him out with their house, right, in Freeport. This nice white family. All they wanted to do was save a black kid's life. And now they got to put up their fucking Freeport house. Their whole life.
Yeah.
Their whole life. So then Jay's like, fuck it. I got to learn how to fight. I'm going to prison, right? So Phil Baroni hires. So he does like 5 fights. Just fucks everyone up, right? Knocks everyone out 1 round. Just killing people, right? And then the judge goes, you know what? You're a good guy. We're gonna let you off, okay? Because you went to college.
Well, no, probation. They gave me probation.
He moves out to Vegas, right? He joins the gym.
Still on probation in New York at that. I rolled the dice again. I went to my PO and said, listen, I'm fighting now. I'm doing great. I got to get out of New York if I want to take it to the next level. I got to get out of my environment. I got to move and train with the real pros. This is when Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz and Hughes and all of them were in Vegas. This is when Vegas was the shit. Dana White, you know, he's still here, but fight capital of the world. And Baroni was here. I was coming out to help him with fights, and I'm telling my PO, I'm like, listen, I got to go. I'm trying this new career. You know, is there any way, you know? He's like, nope. If you're on probation, if you leave without even telling us, you're going to jail. So what do? I roll the dice. I start coming to Vegas, and then you know, I'm like, hey, listen, I want to move there. How do I move here? How do I change my probation to Las Vegas? He's like, what are you talking about? First off, that's not happening. Second of all, if that was going to happen, Vegas is the hardest state to transfer your probation to because, you know, look what goes on here. There's nothing here but trouble. So long story short, I moved. I moved anyway, rolled the dice again. And thankfully, I had a cool PO. I shouldn't even I'm not going to say his name, but anyway, I guess he was about to retire and he was super cool. And I didn't go see him for a couple months because, you know, at that time I was still coming up. I was still early in my fight career and I had no money to travel back and forth on flights all the time just to go once a month to go see my PO. So I kind of missed a couple times and now I'm shitting bricks. I'm like, oh shit. Next time I go in, I might go get locked up. So finally I just like, you know what, I got to go in. Flew there, went in, I signed my name on the paper and I'm waiting like, I see him come out. He's getting closer and closer to my name, and I'm fucking sweating, man. I'm like, oh, what's he gonna say? And then I see him like look down, and my name's next. I saw the guy going and that signed in before me, and he's like looking around. He's like looking funny at the name, like I know this name, like. And then he like tells his thing. He's like, come on, come in. And I just kept it real. It was one of the first times in my life, like, I've kept it, you know, real a lot of times, but I was like totally honest in this situation. I'm like, listen, I had to leave New York. If I wanted to better myself and better my career, to get out of my environment, just to, you know, and I was like, I had to do what I had to do. I didn't get in trouble, but yes, I moved. And is there any way you could help me out? Like, whatever you could do for me. If not, I get it. You got to do what you got to do. My man took me off probation early. He was like, yo, just don't get in trouble. I don't know nothing. And just write in every month how you doing on a piece of paper. I was like, yo, it was crazy. It was a blessing.
So then Shang, so then like he's training one day, right? And there's some annoying French guy and he fucks him up, right? He's like, he's beating this guy up, this French guy, right? Then they tell him, hey, you're going to have a UFC fight against that fucking little scrawny French guy. He's like, sign me up. I'm going to fuck this guy up. It's GSP, right? Right? So this is his seventh fight. By the way, so I rewatched that fight last night and you know, I hate to bring up people's losses. I do it all the time. Everyone gets mad at me, blah, blah. Dude, that fight, he caught you. You were out. You got back up. Then you went in for a single leg. Then he caught you again, and then you got back up again. Then he caught you again, and you just kept – it was like you were like fucking Jason. He couldn't kill you. And then,
that was some zombie shit you were doing.
But then when they finally stopped it, you still got back up. Like –
yeah.
Right?
That's when I was undefeated, man. I had that undefeated mentality. Like, no one could beat me. I was still green. I fought that fight totally, like you said. What I was looking at, how I was beating them up in training, and, you know, and I was just going off the wrong thing. Like, oh, I'm going to just run through this guy. Not really, you know. I was still green, and, you know, he was definitely the better man that night, for sure. You know,
I'll tell you what,
very skilled.
Down, and you were like, yeah, fucking right. Like, you were like the only guy to stuff his takedown ever in the history of fighting.
Yeah.
I can't think of anybody that really stuffs his takes down.
Then I watched your Jonathan Goulet fight, right? And you were fucking him up in the first. I mean, at one point you like Undertaker fucking choke slam the dude in the first round.
Yeah.
Second round, he knees you. Dude, Joe Rogan said this was the bloodiest round in UFC history. I mean, you were, how much blood did you, I mean, what, were you just completely...
I smelled blood after that fight for 3 days, just the smell of it. I couldn't, it was still coming off of me 2 days in the shower after that. Just, I was finding little spots of blood on me. It was so much blood. I was smelling it for a couple of days. It was just crazy. I was still in the fight too. You know what I mean? I just couldn't grab.
You would have won that fight. You would have won that fight.
Yeah, I just couldn't get a good grip. You know, he caught me with a good knee and it just hit the vein, and it was just every time I would grab him, it would just sprout out of my head.
Dude, one time you had a rear naked choke in, and he got out because of blood. Like, I never saw a dude slip. But it was like a slip and slide.
It was definitely a slip and slide. I had his back once. I slipped off just because my blood was everywhere. It was nuts.
Oh my God! And the thing, people are like, you gotta kind of
no scar either. Look at that,
dude. That was unbelievable.
After that, I thought I was Frankenstein. After that, when I had the stitches, it was right down my forehead.
I mean, look, I'm not gonna say you had an unlucky career because you had a great career. I mean, you had an amazing career.
Great.
You got the top.
No regrets.
Top. But there were times that you're like that Askren fight, you won that Askren fight, the Ben Askren fight, and then this fight you would have won.
Yeah.
A different ref wouldn't have stopped that fight. The Goulet fight, a different ref wouldn't have stopped it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't dwell on anything. Again, the whole big picture of it, I changed my life from, negative to a positive, and what else more can you ask for,
Dude,
doing something else I love to do now. It's great.
The Jason
still in
High
shape.
fight.
I still get in there.
Dude, Jason High is a good fighter. Jason High.
Yeah, that was fun.
God. Dude, Shang.
Yeah, that was fun.
This might have been this is the most, I've never seen a knockout like this. He knocked him. I mean, he was out before, and like Jason High is a good fighter, a really good fighter. And
into a different dimension.
Dude, you came in with it was a lead.
Step over cross.
Was it cross? It was
Ray, step over cross. It's an actual technique that Ray Sefo taught me 8 weeks out from that fight. And he's like, "Oh, you're fighting a southpaw? Try this." And I love, Ray Sefo was my big brother, and I watched him even before I met him, and watch him knock out Jerome LeBanner, Peter Arts, and all top guys. And he's showing me, and for me, it just wasn't clicking. I'm like, big bro, this ain't really working for me. He's like, just try it. During the camp, I kept trying it, and then I start getting smooth with it, and I start getting finesse with it. Come fight night, man, it was on. It landed perfectly. Stepped over, I baited him into it. I was throwing my jab a little out, making him step towards it, and that's how that's the technique of that move, is to have them step into that direction of it, and that's how it is the most. That's how you generate the power, and if you're hitting on the button, it's curtains, lights out,
though,
just like you saw.
It looks so simple, but I've never seen it executed like that before. I was like, man, you should like teach a course on that, because
Bang Ludwig does it too as well. Shout out to Dwayne Bang Ludwig. He just posted something on Instagram with he had a fight in K1. He did it too, and he gave a shout out to Ray Sefo for it as well. Ray Sefo's the master at it, you know what I mean? And I had the pleasure to learn from him. And it was great. It worked. It was a crazy night that night. There was so many emotions and roller coaster, because they actually made my fight the swing bout, which I don't know if you know what a swing bout is, but a swing bout is your fight is get in where you fit in, pretty much like, okay, stay ready, and we're gonna put you up now. Oh no, maybe 2 fights down the night, 2 fights after, or you never know when your fight's gonna go. So it was a very emotional night.
Fedor versus Arlovsky. It was the Affliction card.
Yeah.
Fedor
exactly.
Arlovsky. And what was that like, being on the same card as Fedor? Like prime.
Oh, it's incredible, man. I mean, Tyson was in the house. I mean, everybody was there. Because that's when Fedor was the Iron Fist. Everybody, he was undefeated then. Nobody thought he could lose. Like 28-30-0 or something, and he was the biggest thing in MMA then, and he was on the card that night. So my fight got pushed after his, so I was really the main event. And I go out with the bang, the fireworks. So I told you I was supposed to be, I think, the main event on the FX portion of the card. They had like the FX portion and then the pay-per-view. So they made mine.
On the Fight Pass, it's not on the Fight Pass card. Like the whole card, I watched 3 hours looking for your fucking fight last night, and I'm like, no, it says on Sherdog that you knocked him out, but then they have it separate. They have it set. So like, that's why that makes
because it was a swing bout. They came in. Pabio was my manager at the time. He's like, man, they're saying they might pull my fight from the card. Which means you still get your show money, but. And even at the end of the day, that's the pot of gold of the, at the end of the rainbow is to fight and win and then get your money. Guys still get money. That's great. But you want to, if you're that prepared, you want to fight. You want to go out and show your skills. Right. And they're saying during the night, hey, you might not fight tonight because they're pressed for time. But stay ready. your fight is a swing bout now. So these are all the emotions I went in.
Oh,
And
God.
then you know me, I wear the rosary beads.
Yeah.
And right before I go out the curtain, warming up, they say, okay, your fight to go. I'm warmed up. I'm ready. Boom, I'm walking out. My fucking rosary bead pops. Well, let me not curse when I say rosary bead. Yeah. So Randy's in my corner. Randy picks it up. He's fumbling with it. He's like, oh, just stay ready. So this is on top of everything. He puts it together somehow. He knots it together somehow, puts it on my neck. Okay, cool, we're ready. We go out, get in the ring, boom, step over, cross, knockout, boom, hand raised. It was crazy. So
Well,
just leading up into the.
Yeah, I mean, people don't realize you also beat Joe Riggs, you beat Pat Healy, you beat Jesse Taylor, you beat Jake Ellenberger.
Yeah.
You kept calling out Nick Diaz. You had a fight scheduled against Nick Diaz, and then Nick Diaz popped for weed. How much money did you lose by him popping for weed?
Wow, a lot of money. That was when Strike Force was big, and they were paying big too. I got a dope signing bonus from them, like 50 grand. I got a T-shirt deal. I had the video game deal with them. This is all before I even fought. And then when the Nick Diaz fight came around, it was big contract, big money, and it just didn't happen. And, you know, out of my control. You just got to keep moving. Like you said, my career is, you know, could have definitely went a different direction on a few fights or just, you know, different decision making that I made, but I'm content. You know, I'm cool. When I retired, that's one of the decisions. Okay, how do I feel? You know, I felt I could have done more, but I was totally content on just, you know, I traveled the world. I made some money. I lost money, but I had a good time doing it.
I want to ask
won some titles.
I want to ask a question. What is that? Like, it's a corny ass question. Motherfuckers always ask it, but I gotta ask it. What's the high? No, they do. Yeah. You know what I mean? What is the highlight of like fighting? Not only Strike Force, because I already saw the fights. I saw because like Adam stayed up all night. Your movies, all that shit. He did the research. He did shit. And what one would you say is the highlight? Because that one night. Yeah, that one, that swing fight, that one was pretty.
Yeah, the high fight when I won the Bellator tournament versus Rick Horn, that was pretty big because going into that fight, it was crazy. I had a broken nose and concussion because back in the day when Bellator had the tournaments, the fights were so close. They were so close, like one fight after another. So you fought the quarterfinals, you fought the semis 2-3 weeks later. You fought the finals 3-4 weeks later, so you're still damaged from the other fights. So I had a tough fight in the semis. Tough guy, badass dude, country guy that nobody heard of, and he was tough. He dropped me in the first round. I ended up winning the fight. Yeah, Weedman, yeah, he was a tough guy. Hit me with a left hook and rocked me, and I ended up winning the fight. I think I dropped him at some point. And going into the final fight, I already was going in with a concussion, broken nose. I told Bellator, hey man, can you give me 2 more weeks just so I could, you know, heal up? And they're like, Bjorn Rebeny was the president at the time. He's like, no, we're on schedule. If you can't fight, this when MTV was, when they had MTV too. He's like, no, if you can't fight, we're putting in the guy that you just beat. We're on schedule. So I'm like, oh, hell no, that was the big money fight, and that's the final fight, and then that's how you get the title shot. So, you know, okay, I'll be ready. And I remember I didn't spar once from that fight until the Horn fight. I couldn't spar because I sparred once right after the week after the fight. I healed up a little bit, and I think I sparred Frank Trigg, hit me in my nose, and my nose re-broke again after being set. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, that's it. So I just did like the Holland drills, and I remember just feeling like I was off, like I felt concussed in the nose, but in the fight I felt pretty sharp. But it was memorable just because I pulled it off, and you know I had to dig down deep to get through it.
So you went through all that shit and you still pulled it off. That's what. Yeah.
Still pulled it off, yeah. So that's why it's memorable to me. And the high fight, just what I went through that night, and you know. Even the Askren fight, I feel like I won, but I just dug down deep in that fight too as well. on paper it says I lost, but I feel I won. So that's a
Yeah, a lot of
memorable
people
fight.
don't know.
I feel like I feel like I was a world champion from that fight. You know, they could say on paper I lost, but I feel I won.
Well, that was part one, because since then, Shang, this dude, like I said, has been an Equalizer 2, Iron Fist, John Wick 2,
Yeah.
Luke Cage, Hit and Run, Vice Squad,
Blessed.
Fugitive, Daredevil, Jessica Jones. Now, your highlight, if I was going to say what's your highlight, it's got to be the scene in Equalizer 2 with Denzel Washington.
Oh,
right?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was fun. That was great, man. I'm in the car with one of the best in the game, man, you know, so it's like, what do? You know, you just sit back and learn. And I have the best seat in the house. I'm right behind them. You know what I mean? So it was good. It was great. You know, I'm a person that I listen more than I talk anyway. And
well, now we're you're not talking at all now because you just left.
right when you today, Adam, it has been.
I guess he just wants to listen to the podcast.
Oh my God.
Jay, come back.
Right there. Oh, right when he was getting into the other side of it, and then it goes out.
Yeah. Does he have to come? Hopefully Jay will come back. But interesting guy, huh? What a life.
Yeah, I mean, but the fact he turned it around is some dope shit.
Yeah. But also, like, he's got all these acting work and like stunt work, but he really started from the bottom. Like, he didn't nobody just brought him in. I mean, he would show up to sets just to meet people. Hey, nice to meet you. I'm an actor. Blah blah blah. I'm trying to get in the business. Like, he really started from the bottom, and then ends up at a scene with Denzel Washington, and he's got like another
$100 million movie.
Yeah, Jay's.
That's not that bad. That's not that bad.
No, okay, here we go. All right, I think he's back. All right, Jay, you're back?
Yeah, there he is.
I was gonna say, I was like, man, so you listen more than you talk, and then you stop talking.
Yeah, that's how good I am at it.
So
it was a great experience.
Did Denzel know you were a fighter?
Yeah. I mean, come on, I wouldn't have been in the car if I wasn't, you know, had some type of experience or, you know.
Did you guys talk boxing?
Because the whole process was crazy. Not at first, no. He was in his mode. He was in his character, and I didn't even talk to him at first. Really, you know, he was just doing his thing, and I guess that's why he took probably a liking to me, just because he seen how I was. Man, you know, in a car is such tight quarters too, and then in between takes, you know how it is. You're sitting there and fucking. You know what I mean? Well, I'm not, hey, man, how you doing, Denzel? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to start a conversation with the dude. I mean, I already know he's kind of gets into his character methody a little bit, so I'm just letting him be himself and do his thing. And that's what I said again. I'm more of a listen more than I talk type of dude. And, you know what I mean? Unless I know you and we shared experiences and then, you know what I mean? But most of the time, I'm just laid back. And he initiated the conversation in between takes, and it was great. And towards the end, he was telling me stories about Glory and just, you know, it was an incredible experience, you know what I mean? And then just watching him do his thing was great. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to pick up stuff like a sponge, you know what I mean? Just like I did over the years with Randy Couture and great fighters I've trained with.
What was Keanu Reeves like?
Oh, another great dude, man. Real humble, nice guy. I got to do fight scenes with him, and you know, again, a lot of these dudes are real humble. And again, I've been, you know, a lot of people ask me, anybody been a dick to you? Never. I mean, you know, they respect me. They know I'm a fighter, and they really, they're real genuine. They're real humble, and I guess knowing I'm a fighter.
Guys ever say like, hey, it's okay to go hard on me. It's okay, hit me as hard as you want. But then you're like,
yeah, you got to be careful. I mean, because, you know, at the end of the day, if you do hurt somebody, that could be a job. It could be your reputation. But also on top of that, it slows down production and filming and all that stuff. So now you're making people lose money. You know what I mean? Not only the actor or just the whole production. So, you know, again, it's you know, not a lot of them want to, or you know, they just want more of it to look genuine. So, I've had one guy say, you know, you could go a little harder and stuff like that. But I mean, you know, for the most part, it's a lot of them train hard in the fight scene. So it looks good at the end of the day.
What was your part in Joker?
Just help with some of the riot scene stuff. I do a lot of some fight choreography stuff too. So helping out in that type the riot stuff and
Right.
yeah, that was fun. That was cool. Good movie.
Yeah, no, I always see you get your ass kicked by either Jessica Jones, Daredevil, or Luke Cage. It's always in a prison scene, and they're like, "Oh, fight him," and you always start winning, and then you get the shit beaten out of you by the fucking people.
Hey man, it's Hollywood, bro. It's a movie.
In the script.
It's acting. It's in the script.
Yeah.
I get paid for it. It's crazy because I've trained my whole life to win fights, and now I'm training just as hard to make them look real to lose them.
But you recently trained with Ngannou. He walked into your gym. What was it? What was that like?
Yeah, it was fun for about 2 minutes, and then I was like, I will never do this again in my life. I sparred him one time, and I'm like, yo, bro, I'm retired. Yeah, let's go a little light. You know what I mean? Next thing I know, it's fucking 2 minutes in. I'm fucking fighting for my life. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I even in here sparring this big dude, thinking he's gonna go light? You know what I mean? Jesus Christ! But real nice guy, real humble guy. I like him a lot.
Okay, so you go in there, right? He's like, let's spar, and you're throwing ones and twos. Jay,
Power.
Jake.
Huh?
So okay, so you're
yeah, I'm pretty much shadow boxing.
Okay, you're in there, you're throwing ones and twos, and then he's throwing like power rights and like hooks at you?
No, not really. He's just so powerful and such a big dude that he could be even going light, but he's just so dense and strong and big that he might be going light, but that shit fucking hurts still. You know what I mean? He's just that big, man, and he's
are you wearing
powerful.
headgear?
I'm sure he's not. Yeah, I forget. It could have. I mean, I haven't wore headgear in a while just because I tell myself I'm not going hard. And then I end up fucking sitting in there fucking banging with somebody. And, you know, that's why I know I still feel good about myself, because if I fucking quit out there, will feel like shit about myself. But I'm still in there like, all right, fuck it. Want to bang? Let's bang. But not with Ngannou. Except for him.
Because he's like 265. You're what, like 190?
Yeah, I'm 190, 195, pushing 200 sometimes. But yeah, even when I was fighting in the best shape of my life, that'd be stupid to go in there with a guy that size and try to bang with, or, you know, when we first started Extreme Couture, there was no weight classes. You go with the next guy, whoever's available in sparring. I sparred Forrest Griffin damn near my whole career.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Now, and you were there when Baroni knocked out Hendricks, right?
I was there, yeah. Yup.
What
yes,
happened?
Sir. Left hook, put him to sleep. You know? Night. I mean, you know, it could be a good story for Hendricks, though. I mean, he say, hey, I learned from it. What happened after that? I became world champ. So you learn from shit in this game. I mean, that could have been the first time he got knocked out too, and just been like, okay, he could have went two roads. Like, this is not for me, or this is, you know what, I'm going to get better, and I'm going to keep my hands up. And that's actually what he did, right?
Did anybody ever?
It happens.
That's
one thing about this sport I love, or any fight sport or combat sport. There is a day when you sit and tell yourself, is this for me? It's going to happen. It's not if, it's when. When it's in a fight, or whether it's hopefully for the guy, it's in training. There will be a day where you say to yourself, should I be doing this, or maybe not so much? You can't fake it, this sport. You can only fake it for so long. That's it.
Let me ask you something. Has anybody tried to test you in the streets? Like, when I gotta show them.
But, you know, once you become, you know, professional or not, you know, there is some jerks out there that still want to try to prove themselves. But, I mean, once you start getting paid for it, man, it's like, do I want to knock Joe Schmo out over here for no reason? And, you know what I mean? It's, you know, it's more of the guy that's insecure, that's on the street fighting, and a guy that just starts training. trying to, you know, go out and start some shit on the street. If you're a professional and you're getting paid for it, you know, it's likely that you'll be able to separate yourself from the situation than, you know, egging it on or making it worse or putting gas on a fire. Because, you know, now there is some times where there's a situation you can't walk away from or something, but most time, you know, guys drunk and say some slick shit and I'm just like, whatever. As long as you don't touch me, I feel like I could diffuse the situation. Now, if you touch me.
Now your girlfriend, I don't want to bring up your girlfriend, but she is like, she got what, like 3 million followers on Instagram. Like her butt's in a different universe. Okay. And she wears like some tight clothing.
Yeah.
How many times are you with her in public and guys are making stupid comments and you gotta?
Well, I train. You know what I mean? It's just the same thing with my woman. She already knows the deal. She diffuses it before it gets to me. And most times, 9 times out of 10, a guy will understand. Yo, I'm with my man. He's right there. Done. That's okay. If you got a pretty girlfriend and a guy tries to talk to, if he doesn't see you, as long as it's not disrespectful and it's handled professionally by your girlfriend, or he just understands, oh, she got a man, oh, she's with a man. Okay, sorry, my bad. Cool.
Right. Keep it moving.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. But if there's an idiot, which there is some, and they keep if they even disrespect and touch her, you know, that's when I probably would get out of character on a situation like that. But again, my woman is totally dialed in on situations like that. She diffuses it real quick. Now I'm with my man. He's right there. And 9 times out of 10, my bad. Okay, no disrespect. And they keep it moving. And that's okay. They didn't know that she had a man or he was right there standing there anyway. As long as it's not a fucking drunk ass dude grabbing up on my woman or touching her or disrespecting her or cursing her out, I'm cool.
How many celebrities though are trying to get in her DMs? Like,
a lot. Oh yeah, trust me, a lot. Yeah, and I can't wait. And I can't wait if I'm on set with anybody and they've tried that. But again, it's still not to the point of a disrespect thing either. You know what I mean? It's not to that point either. So it's not even an issue to come up at all. You know, if it's something where it's disrespectful, like, fuck you, man, you know, come over here, then it's a situation. Okay, now we might have to talk because my girl is totally honest with me and shows me stuff. So it hasn't been that either at all. No disrespect at all.
You got a lot of control, man, because I know when I first started getting decent at the shit, I would be thinking, I hope somebody starts something so I can try this move. Is that fucked up? Does that make me crazy? Because I used to think, oh man, I've been working on this kick for like fucking months, and then I was like, help somebody do some shit.
But that's,
so I can take it.
I mean, it's normal to feel that way. But how you feel, I try it out. So when you feel like I'll learn this move, I want to try it, I go try it against the best guys in the world to see if it works in training. You know what I mean? So it's like,
try it on this
after I leave there. Yeah. See, you know, that's no wins for me. I you know, when I fought on TV, I got paid for it. So it's like, why would I want to do it on the street? You know what I mean? What I want to do when I'm not in the gym or in the ring fighting is relax on the couch and do nothing. No arguments with nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
my old lady
you don't do drugs. You don't smoke weed. You don't you don't fuck around. Like you're like you just bought your second house.
Because I did all that shit in my fucking life, man. I did fucking selling drugs. I fucking smoked weed. I smoked out like fucking Cheech and Chong. I fucking traveled the world. I fucking did every crazy thing. So I'm just trying to relax, man. You know what I mean?
And you just bought your second house, right?
And I still play gangsters in movies. Yeah. Thank God. I'm blessed. I bought another house, and it's okay, man. I'm doing okay. You know, not right this second because the whole pandemic, but hopefully we find a virus, and we find a virus. Hopefully we find a vaccine, and everybody gets back, the economy gets back, and everybody gets back to work. The fighters get back to fighting. You know, it's crazy times we're in.
Well, you're doing great, man. Fucking Shang, how cool is this fucking Jay Hieron?
I mean, no, I'm gonna tell you, man. While we was waiting for you to get online, I was like, yo, man, when's dude gonna get online? Like, How you?
Yo, I know, man. My bad. I was on my bike running around with Brad in the hills out here, and I totally spaced out and forgot about the interview. And then I forgot to download the Zoom thing because I've never done this.
It's all good.
But we here, man. We made it work, brother. We here.
We made it work, man. We made it work.
Yeah.
You're killing it, bro. Tell the lady I said hello.
No doubt. Will do.
Shang, I'll see you next time I'm in Vegas. Shang, thanks for being on the podcast. Thank you.
Yo, my man Shane, good to meet you, brother.
When I come to Vegas, man, definitely need to come check me out.
Yo, get my my math from Adam.
Okay, done deal.
All right.
Take care, guys. Thank you, guys.
Later.